It is time again for Astronomy Daily Live. Hey, everybody. It is 2 hours UTC, and it's time. It's time again for a live stream. So, hope everybody's doing well. Everything's good. Everything's good here. The past 23 hours have gone by, and here we are once again. And several live streams ago, I I did a very rough calculation on how far we travel in that amount of time. That is rotating once on the Earth, the amount of distance traveled that the Earth has moved around the Sun, and the distance that the Sun moves around the center of the galaxy in 24 hours. And it turns out to be something around 20 million kilometers. So in the past 24 hours, we have all moved about 20 million kilometers. That's almost a million kilometers per hour. So we are moving fast, right? I'm going to every every good scientist has a actual physical calculator within arm's reach at all times. So I'm going to take 20 million kilometers and I'm going to divide that into 24 hours. That's 833,000 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's 13,888 kilometers per minute, or 231 kilometers per second. So, man, we are really moving, right? We're really moving, and that's just three motions, right? That's our sitting here on Earth, rotating, right? And then the Earth going around the sun, and then the sun going around the center of the galaxy. We're traveling at 231 kilometers per second. It just I like to give those kinds of perspectives on things. It sort of uh, you know uh, it's dizzying to think about that, but I think it also, gives a perspective, and it's sort of, it's not. I, I mean, I think humbling isn't exactly the right term, but it's awe-inspiring, right? It's like, wow, you know, at least relatively speaking, we're moving fast, right? 231 kilometers per second. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to tweet the fact that I am live. I think I already have my chat up and running. Yeah, there are people there. Bobby, hey, glad to see you again in chat. Tom, nice to see you as well in chat. Hope everything's well. As I said, everything is well here. The sun has just set. I still I'm thinking about maybe doing a couple of live streams outside. I can do it with my smartphone. The only disadvantage there is that I'm not going to be able to share anything. So you're going to have to look at this ugly mug for the entire time, which okay, I suppose that's all right. So cheers. This is HOH tonight. This is hydrogen hydroxide tonight. Cheers. Ah, fresh batch too. So I always like to have a fresh batch of hydrogen hydroxide. It's very calming, very delicious, and very amazing. And yeah, there's something like, I don't know, you know, 10 to the 24th, 10 to the 25th molecules of it in this. It's just, just it's a huge, huge, those kinds of numbers, right? We cannot really wrap our heads around until you realize that in just a regular glass like this, we have billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of molecules, right? 10 to the 24th, 10 to the 25th molecules. It's just amazing the, you know, the numbers that we deal with on sort of a daily basis and don't really pay any attention at all. So it's sort of like how we're moving, right? We don't really pay that much attention. So until it's sort of, brought up, and then it's like, wow, that's really amazing. So I'm going to pull up my live stream here on my smartphone too, so I can monitor the live stream. So hope everybody's doing well. Now, this live stream is called Astronomy Daily Live, right? And it is just a casual, fun get together of friends. We gather together in a circle every single day. Now, on rare occasions, I am not going to do a live stream. Very, very rare. I think I'm not paying that much attention, but I've been doing this for quite a while now, 3.5 months, something like that, and I have missed three days, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So once in a while, uh, you know, life events are going to pull me away and not allow me to be here at this time. And I definitely, want to do this at the same time every day. I don't want it, to be, I do it this time when it's convenient, and I do it at another time when it's convenient. No, no, no. I think consistency for this this kind of thing is really, really, really important. So if I'm not able to make it at 2 hours UTC, I will definitely try to let you know on my Discord server. There's a link to that down in the um, description. You can join that, and I try to let you know in advance if I'm not going to make it. Sometimes, especially this time of year, if I'm doing any kind of observing, um, I I have to take calibration data during sunset. So, and that's occurring like now. So, I may not be able to start exactly at the right time, and I'll try to post a little thing saying, hey, I'm taking calibration data, but I'm going to start at a certain time. But yeah, so this live stream is for everyone, right? It's for the newbies, it's for the amateurs, it's for the professionals, it's for everyone to come in, turn off the TV, forget about all the news, and just sit around on like a virtual porch in our comfy chairs. We have our consumables of choice, and we sit around and we think and we talk all things astronomical for an hour or so, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit more. And it's very casual and fun. I'm not a science communicator. I'm not a um, um, educator. I just want to talk about all things astronomical, and communication will take place, and um, education will take place, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is to share the passion and just have fun, and sort of go together into areas of discovery, learning things, talking about things, whatever. So yeah, if you have any topics that you would like to talk about, as I said, this is sort of a two-way thing. So it's not necessarily me talking at you. We're sitting around in a circle and we're having a conversation, right? So uh, any kind of topic you want to bring it up for sure. But we can do Q&A. We can talk about astronomical gear. We can talk about all kinds of instrumentation, um, data, uh, news, anything at all. Telescopes, cameras, research, any kind of journal, um, uh, things you might have heard about. Um, it's just a fun place, to hang out, talk astronomy for a while, just relaxed and fun. And yeah, no pressure in terms of, having to, you know, talk about a particular thing. There's not going to be any kind of um, interviews. There aren't going to be any sort of high priests coming in and providing answers to things. Nah, you know, this is science, and really there are no answers. There are good guesses, but that's about it. So yeah, hey, I hope everybody heard about and uh, uh, and saw the Blue Origin New Shepard test launch earlier today. Happened over in somewhere over in West Texas. I'm not exactly sure where their facility is, but they're continuing to do um, suborbital tests. I think they're uh, at least one of their goals, right, is to provide um, sort of a fun service where people for a price can hitch a ride on New Shepard and have a like a 10-minute flight, 4 minutes of which is weightless, right? 0G when they so I think that's really, really awesome. And I think there is definitely going to be a market for that. You can also do, some pretty interesting science with that too. They've been doing suborbital launches since, the 50s. So there's nothing really new there. The cool part, of course, well, I guess there's sort of three cool parts. Um, One cool part is that it's eventually going to involve passengers, actually human passengers, and I think that is very, very awesome. The second thing is that both, well, second and third, I guess, is that the 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 first stage, the launching stage, actually comes back and lands and can be reused, and then of course the capsule as well. I guess you'd call it a capsule. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling it. you know, where all the passengers are, that also lands. So it's pretty much a completely reusable system, and I think that's very very awesome. That, as I said, there is definitely a market for that. Um, it's not anything I'm personally too interested in. I For me, I don't see a lot of value in that. I definitely think that the view would be stupendous. The ride would be absolutely stupendous. Zero G, yeah, I don't know. You know how I've heard it being described by the astronauts is that it's it's sort of, you know, the the sensation of falling. That's sort of what it feels like. You know, we're used to, you know, this constant um, sort of not acceleration, but you know, this constant pull downwards, and when that is released, then uh, we have a sensation of falling, and yeah, um, yeah, it's just not sort of my thing. That's not uh, long enough, not high enough, um, anything else. And Miss Lady Catherine, the whole idea is to actually make it pretty affordable. I don't know if they've thrown any numbers out, but I'm sort of thinking that it's going to be, yeah, it's still going to be expensive, but it's not going to be insanely expensive. I'm thinking thousands of dollars, thousands. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. You know, if pretty much all they have to do is just put more fuel in, that's pretty much all you're paying for is fuel and a little bit of overhead, you know, to pay the people to, you know, monitor, you know, the 10-minute flight. So, you know, it's a short flight, and pretty exciting though. And as I said, the view has got to be stupendous. And today, I think they got up as high as they ever have. That's kind of the funny thing. Um, the live show said that they got up to 347,000 feet, but Bezos tweeted a couple hours later saying they got up to 351,000 feet. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I know that their goal was 350,000 feet, and at least the live thing, which I guess, you know, is sort of a preliminary thing. Um, Said, you know, they got up to 347,000 something, right? So not 348, you know, somewhere between 347 and 348, which technically is uh, space. I think there's sort of an arbitrary line of 100 kilometers or so, 60 some miles or so. So what is that? If it's 60 miles, which I think it's a little bit more than that, 5 times 5,280, that's 316,800 feet. So technically, they got into space, um, but that's sort of an arbitrary line, right? You gotta define it in some way. I'm sure, you know, that's based on some kind of physical parameter as well. You know, how much atmosphere, yeah, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, hello, Hip. Nice to see you there. Glad that you're in the chat. Nice to see you. joining the circle of friends here. We're just talking about the Blue Origin's test launch from um, uh, earlier today. So, what about you guys? Would you, if it was relatively affordable, would you take that ride? It's a 10-minute ride from launch to landing, and you've got about 4 minutes of weightlessness. So is that worth a few $1,000s? I don't know. It's definitely going to be worth a few $1,000s to some, probably quite a few, right? Me, nah, no. I'm my thing is that I want to take a week's vacation and go around the moon, right? That's what I want to do. I want to take a 5-day trip, um, go to the moon, go around the moon, and then come back. That's my thing. So and I mean, I can dream about that because I'll never be able to afford it. But if I could, I definitely would. Definitely, definitely would. Yeah, afraid of heights. Height is a matter of perspective, right? Because um, if you look if you look horizontally, right, that's a distance as well, right? So you can look horizontally for miles and miles and miles and miles. What's the difference between looking that way for miles and miles and miles and looking that way for miles and miles and miles? It's still a distance. It's a matter of perspective, and it's a matter of what's um, what's in your head, right? Yeah, height is sort of a perspective thing. But yeah, I totally understand that. Uh, uh, but yeah, as I said, going up, you know, uh, like 100 kilometers up, mm, for me, not too interesting. Even orbiting the Earth, I think that would be cool, I suppose. But, and I definitely would not get tired of looking down on the earth and seeing things, seeing a sunrise and sunset every 90 minutes, um, seeing the curvature of the earth, seeing the atmosphere, seeing the air glow, seeing thunderstorms and lightning. There's a lot to see from orbit, but again, if I'm going to go out into space, I want to go, right? I want to go out. And I think for me, for me, um, it would be going to the moon and back. I don't really care about walking on the moon, landing there. Yeah, it's just a rock. It's just a big ball of dirt. so it would be very, very cool, right? And I mean, I'm sort of saying all these kinds of things tongue in cheek, right? So don't take me too seriously. But the moon is just a big ball of dirt, um, tongue in cheek. Uh, but yeah, my thing, what I would like to do is a 5-day cruise, right? It'd be just like a cruise, uh, 2 days there, 2.5 days there, 2.5 days back, and yeah, I think that would be my thing. But yeah, it's really, really nice. I personally don't care who is going um, out there. It can be the United States. It can be, you know, NASA. It can be SpaceX. It can be Blue Origins. It can be Virgin Galactic. It can be the Chinese, the Indian, um, the Europeans, um, Japan. It can be Russia. I don't care. I don't care who's doing it. I I would like I would like it to be a cooperative thing where we humans, right, where we humans are going into space. So, you know, it's not us doing this and them doing that, and you know everybody's on sort of a different learning curve. Unfortunately, that is the world we live in, and it's ridiculous and it's silly that we can't work together on those kinds of things, but we're not. Oh well, you know, maybe someday we will, you know, get our heads up out of the ground or out of elsewhere and realize that there's synergy, right? There is a synergetic. Sorry, I got itchy noses again tonight. Um, there's a synergetic effect when it comes to working together, right? We can do so much more together, and you know, them doing exactly the same thing that we're doing, and this company, you know, all of that. Now, in terms of competition, right, and in terms of business, right, I think that there should be as many players in sort of the space game as we can possibly do, because that that promotes, you know, all kinds of competition, um, um, innovation, you know, pushing all kinds of limits. So in terms of for business, right, for you know the development of of space industry, space tourism, all of that. Yeah, I want separate competing things because that really, you know, pushes the envelope. But in terms of sort of exploration and you know science and discovery and all of that, I think we need to work together. Work work together. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Yeah. I you know. Well, the moon is a great big ball of something. So dirt, cheese, it's pretty much all the same. So yeah, I definitely, you know, given the opportunity to uh, walk on the moon, yeah, I would probably do it. But it's not really on my list. I think going to the moon and looking back um, um, at the Earth and you know being able to put my thumb over the earth and saying that's where everything I know, everything that I you know am is. I think that's you know that's called uh, the overview um, effect, and it's life changing for sure. So yeah, I'm totally into that. Totally into that. Landing on the moon, walking on the surface of the moon, mm, I'll probably pass. I'll probably pass on that one. Um, yeah, it's just a big ball of dirt. So So yeah. Hope everybody's doing well. It was a good launch. A little bit of a delay. I think they had some high winds that they were contending with, and so they had a countdown that would be delayed. A hold. And they would hold for a couple of minutes, and then they would start the countdown again. After a couple of seconds, they would hold again, and then they reset the launch clock, and then that would count down, and there'd be a couple holds. So I think they were just waiting for the wind to die down a little bit, and uh, yeah, but they got off, and it's very very cool. Now they are developing a new rocket. It's going to be called the New Glenn. So these these names, right? New Shepard, right? New Glenn. There's going to be a new Armstrong, right? So if you don't know, okay, Alan Shepard was the first, um, um, at least American, to um, to be launched into space, right? It was also a suborbital launch. Um, John Glenn was the first, I think the first, no, he wasn't the first human. I don't think he was the first human either. Maybe he was the first human to orbit the Earth, orbiting the Earth. Um, and apparently, there is going to be a rocket called the New Armstrong. And the New Armstrong, okay, we've got um, Shepard doing suborbital launches. We've got Glenn doing orbital things. The New Armstrong is going to the moon, right? So yeah, Blue Origin has some big plans, and I'm looking forward to New Armstrong. I think that's if they have a thing where they're going to be taking people to the moon, going around it, coming back. I'm on board. So I am saving my pennies right now for that flight, because I think that is that that's the one. So hey there, Space TV. Glad you could join us. It is early morning for Space TV. So thanks for coming in. Um, yeah, I think I want to say that Yuri Gagarin orbited too, didn't he? He was the first human in space, and I think he orbited too. Don't quote me on that. That's terrible that I don't know those kinds of things off the top of my head. What kind of space enthusiast am I anyway? I don't know. And Space TV, I have to make some apologies. I've been forgetting recently to create my new live stream events and put them on my playlist. So yeah, it's just my bad. Uh, I've been trying to do it, right in the mornings here, um, when I get up around 14 hours UTC, and I just haven't been doing it. So it's my bad, just bad cosmic, bad. So yeah, let's see. In 1957, he made the first supersonic transcontinental flight across the United States. Um, okay, yeah. One of the people who really had an an amazing life was John Glenn, right? Oh my gosh, what a life! You know, though when when um, when somebody like John Glenn dies, I am not sad. I am not sad at all. I sit back and go, man, did he have a good time or what? Yeah, that is nothing to be sad about whatsoever. Whatsoever. He lived a long life, and wow, the stuff that he was able to do, awesome. Awesome. I am so um, jealous of those kinds of lives. I mean, my life here is boring and mundane, right? I sit around all day long. I think astronomy, and that's it. But he's flying around the Earth. He's, transcontinental flights. Just just amazing, just amazing. Yeah, yeah. Um, uh, I'm I'm just reading the chat. I I really appreciate you folks coming into the chat and making that active. Thanks. Yeah. Bad cosmic karma, just bad. So yeah, I definitely need to step up a little bit, be just a slightly bit more responsible. So you've got those feeds when you need them, because yeah, you're supporting me. I I need to be able to step up and make sure that support is there. So yeah, anyway, so I'm really excited about space flight. Always have been. As I said, I think I told you my story about me looking forward to and watching the first space shuttle launch back in 1981. Just happened, right? We just had an anniversary. It was like April 14th. Um, or so. So yeah. I've never ever seen any rocket launches at all. Now, there's a rocket launch that is going to be happening very soon. I think it's going to be happening I think like May 5th. May 5th, the Mars Insight mission is going to be launched from Vandenberg, and it is going to be a very early morning launch. I think it's like a 4 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time launch, which for me is a 4 a.m. Mountain Standard Time launch. So that's going to be launching from Vandenberg. I'm I'm over in southeastern Arizona. So theoretically, I might be able to see that that launch. Now, it's definitely not like being there at the pad, you know, watching it. But and actually, I see a lot of um, um, suborbital launches out of White Sands. I'm relatively close to White Sands missile range over in New Mexico, and I always see vapor trails there that are definitely suborbital types of things. Um, so yeah, it's not as if I've never seen that kind of a launch, but I have never been, you know, uh, um, at the location um, of a launch. Yeah. So May 5th, 4:05 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which what? That's add 7 to that. That's 11:05 UTC. So yeah, and that's going to be a great mission. It's yeah, I think that is going to be very cool. we should probably talk about InSight here in the next few days. We can go over the whole thing and see what InSight is going to bring us. So you know these names are purposely chosen to you know hold sort of double meanings, right? Double entendres, as they say. So yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping to be able to see the InSight launch from Vandenberg. Um, Not quite sure which way they're launching. If they're launching towards the south, then I have a much better chance of seeing it. If they're launching towards the north, then I may not see it. But yeah, Vandenberg from my location is almost due west, just I think just north of west. So if they're launching and are going to be going south, then then yeah, I sort of just have to look west, and yeah, I may see it, I may not. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that that'll go off. There's a pretty big window there. Tom posted the launch window. It's over a month long window. So yeah, if they don't launch on May 5th, they've got until June 8th. So yeah, lots of opportunity there. Vandenberg is a pretty cool launch site, but I think they have a lot of fog. I think they have a lot of fog, which isn't necessarily a problem for launching, but if you're there, right, and want to see it, then you're not gonna. So, yeah, but yeah, I need to do that. I I actually did visit Kennedy Space Center back in I want to say 2007, um, and there were I saw the vehicle assembly building. I saw launch pad 39A and B. Um, this was actually back when the shuttles were still flying, right? I think the last shuttle was 2011, something like that. There wasn't a shuttle on the pad at the time. Didn't I didn't actually see any of the shuttles at all, but there were two things at Kennedy Space Center that really blew me away. Um, the first was they had a full scale model of the shuttle and the external tank and the boosters. And what really got me there was how small it was. Um, the shuttle system is not very big at all. I didn't really have any expectations. Well, I guess I probably did, but I didn't have any sort of conscious expectations about that. But when I saw the full scale model, I was like, is that it? Is that it? So it was very small. Um, yeah, I don't know. I I it doesn't it doesn't. I'm not exactly sure if SpaceX has a business plan for putting you know um, throwing people around the moon. I'm not exactly sure. Blue Origin seems to very clearly have that plan. I don't know what SpaceX's plans are as far as the moon goes. Um, so can't be absolutely sure. Blue Origin definitely has plans to put people around the moon, right? In sort of the way I just described. That you launch this um, vehicle, and it sort of does a figure eight, right? It goes from the Earth out to the moon, loops around the back, and comes back to the Earth and lands. SpaceX, I don't know if they have any of those kinds of plans or not. SpaceX seems to be more leaning towards the BFR, the big Falcon rocket, which is seems to be going to be serving sort of two markets. The first is sort of this global transport system. If you want to be able to get from Los Angeles to Tokyo in um, 30 minutes, you hop on top of a SpaceX BFR and off you go, right? Um, if you want to be able to hurl large, large things into orbit, um, then you go also with the SpaceX BFR. Um, if you want to uh, put people around the moon, then you go with Blue Origin, right? If you want to put people at Mars, you might want to go with SpaceX. Don't know yet. Don't know what the price is. Yeah, just don't have a clue since nobody's done it yet. We don't know if it can be done, and once it can be done, which it probably can, we don't know how much it's going to cost. So yeah, we really don't know. Not quite yet. Uh, Fly passengers on a private. Yeah. Well, I'm I'm waiting for the trip going around the moon. I think that would be a thing I would definitely be interested in. But anyway, so Kennedy Space Center, that was sort of the first thing that really made an impression on me was how small the space shuttle was. It was pretty shocking. It's pretty shocking, and it's like, wow, is that it? Is that it? I mean, it's still really big, and it's still um, 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 really impressive. But I guess I was just expecting it to be bigger, right? Um, Now, having said that, the second thing that really blew me away and made that trip worth all of it, right, was seeing the Saturn V. They have a full scale model of the Saturn V laying on its side, right? Now that was impressive because as I was walking underneath it, right, and touching it, um, I was thinking about how they made this thing move at all, much less at Mach speeds, much less at thousands of miles an hour, faster than a bullet, several times, the speed of a bullet, right? This big, massive, the Saturn V is big. It's really big. And that was extremely impressive. It was extremely impressive to see the Saturn V. That was great. That was really cool. So I have been to Kennedy Space Center. I actually was working on a project over in Tampa. I was working for a company, um, which at the time we were setting up a network of robotic telescopes to detect and track space debris. And it's like, well, hey, if I'm in Tampa, okay, there is no way, there is no way that I'm going to go all the way over to Tampa, right? I'm in southern Arizona, right? So all the way across the country, right? Um, to get so close to Kennedy Space Center to not take a day, right? Drive across, the narrow peninsula. See, we people out here in the Western United States, uh, we, you know, long distance driving is just part of the is just part of life, right? So driving, 100 miles or so, I'm not exactly sure how wide it is. I mean, it just took a couple hours, right? I mean, it's a couple hour drive over to Kennedy Space Center, um, and so that was really really awesome. Um, I also that was, I think, the second time that I had been to and seen um, the Atlantic Ocean. I think I've only seen the Atlantic Ocean twice, and I probably never will again because I don't have any plans on going over to the East Coast ever again. Um, if I do, cool, but I don't have any plans. So, but I walked on, I think it was Daytona Beach, and uh, that was very, very strange because there wasn't, and maybe it's a seasonal thing, I'm not exactly sure, but the beach wasn't sand, it was shells. It was these little shells, about that, maybe that big, maybe like a quarter of an inch or smaller in size. I mean, it seemed like trillions and trillions and trillions of these little shells. So as you walked, it was crunch, 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 crunch. So it was not a sand beach, it was a shell beach. And as I said, I don't know if that's a seasonal thing. I don't know if that's how it always is. Um, but yeah, so I walked on Daytona Beach, touched the Atlantic Ocean. Actually, is it? Oh, I don't know. I I collect strange things. I collect. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting this, but I collect um, dirt and rocks and water. So, if I've got a friend who's traveling and, they come up to me and say, "Do you want me to bring you anything back?" It's like, bring me some dirt. Just, I don't care where, just bring me some dirt or bring me a rock. So that that to me has so much more value than going, to some kind of tourist shop and, buying you know some kind of thing that's, probably made elsewhere, and they have to spend money on it and all that. This way, it's all they have to do is lean over and grab a rock, and that, yeah, yeah. So maybe at some point that might be interesting. Might be an. I've just had an interesting thought. Maybe at some point I will open up a PO box and have you all um, send me rocks from where you live, rocks or dirt or something. Because yeah, I'm sort of a collector of those kinds of things. I've got, and maybe, yeah, I don't know if I should be admitting this or not. I don't know, but I've got some rocks in here from, here I'm going to lower the microphone so I can show you. So these are some rocks from Egypt, from near the pyramids. So, you know, and they're just, where'd my chat go? Come on, chat. So these are just rocks that my wife was traveling, and you know, I told her bring back some rocks. So she actually numbered them. So we actually know exactly where these came from. And sorry about the focus, but there's some rough ones. There's some smooth ones. Yeah. So these are rocks from Egypt, right at the base of the pyramids. Yeah. So those are the kinds of things I like. I've got rocks from uh, um, Guatemala. I've got rocks from the northeastern United States. I've got rocks from China. Yeah, I've got some Chinese rocks too. So yeah, I'm a you know, as I said, I think it's for me, these have so much more value than some kind of a thing, you know, that you're going to have to buy at some kind of a tourist shop, because this to me is the real deal, right? This is Egypt, and I can hold it, and I can, not much of a smell, but you know, I can look at it, um, and it's just fabulous. I value these infinitely more than any kind of, you know, little um, trinket, you know, that you can get. And so yeah, you know, I think I do have sand from Hawaii somewhere, and yeah, you know, just all over the place. So yeah, you know, maybe at some point, as I said, I will create a PO box, and uh, if you're so inclined, you can send me a rock or some dirt from where you are, and I can do the same. You know, I've got lots of dirt around here, so yeah, you know, we can do some kind of a dirt exchange. So yeah, yeah. Um, Why you guys got to check this picture out from um, um, Bob Weir. What um, Hip are, if you're on the Discord, can you post the link there? I want to see what you're talking about. I'm going to go over to my Discord channel now. Dirt exchange, yes. Dirt exchange. Let's exchange dirt. Dirt and rocks. So Hip, yeah. Hopefully you're posting a link to the whatever picture you're talking about. Maybe I just heard it. Live chat. I want to see what you're talking about. Yeah, there is a new thing. What is it? Quest to end Alzheimer's. Mickey Hart wants to help end Alzheimer's disease. I actually saw and heard Mickey Hart play a couple of, well, it's been a couple of years, I guess. New approach to heal the brain by using music. Hey, I am all for that, and yeah, I need to. I should talk to you about that. So yeah, Hip just posted this link. I'm gonna share my screen here so you all can see what I'm seeing as well. So let's share and hide. Let's just see what Hip is talking about here. Grateful Dead's drummer, Quest and Alzheimer's. So Mickey Hart, yeah, is actually one of the greatest drummers I've ever heard. It's the rhythm, stupid. This measured um, this message boots up every morning on Mickey Hart's computer screen, but it's not like the guy needs a reminder. Has made rhythms. Rhythm is connection. It's everything. It's life. Oh, very very cool. Okay, so he's creating interesting images. Uh, it's easy to see once you've had a look at the inside of Hart's brain. During a recent series of performances of his multimedia presentation in New York's American Museum of Natural History, the pulsating images of Hart's cranium span the huge dome of Hadium Planetarium, illustrating how different parts of his sensory system light up and vibrate when exposed to various musical stimuli. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. Rhythm and vibration heal the dream. Well, hey, Hip, I create binaural beats. Have you ever heard of those? I create binaural beats by using astronomical data. I put one sound into the right ear and another sound to the left ear, and I make them beat at different frequencies. Um, what I have been doing in the past is I've actually been using the orbits of Jupiter's moons, of Jupiter's 4 Galilean moons, um, and I used that orbital data to create tones that, as I said, I can put one tone into the left ear and 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 um, I mean I can put another tone to the right ear, and you can listen to them. I will post. In fact, let's see. Can I do this? Bandcamp. I've got it on my Bandcamp site. .com. Oh, I think it's called Astrobinaural. Astrobinaural. I remember right. Find out. Nope, Astrobinaural. Let me look really quick. Hold on to your hats. I'm gonna try to find it here. Let's see. Astrobinaural.bandcamp.com. That's what it is. So astrobinaural, binaural.bandcamp.com. So yeah, if you go to astrobinaural bamp, haha, Bandcamp. Yeah, so if you go here, okay, Hip or anyone, you will hear lots and lots of binaural beats. Right? That's what this thing is all about. I've got a few other musical things here as well, but feel free to check these out. Um, I don't know if they have any particular value, except this is one of the things I've been doing for quite a while. Is taking scientific data and either turning it into images like this, or I can take exactly the same data, and I can turn it into sound. And so that's what I've been doing as well. So yeah, feel free to check those out. Astrobinaural.bandcamp.com. I guess I don't advertise that uh, as much as I want or should, but it came up here, so yeah. And binaural beats, it just be careful, all right, because they um, those beats are actually being created by your brain, right? They're not. I'm not creating those beats outside and you're hearing them. They're actually being made inside of your head. Um, and the frequencies can um, alter your state of consciousness. It's a great way to meditate, um, but just be careful. Just be careful, because I don't want to necessarily cause any kind of harm or anything. So if you listen to these things and it sort of is making you feel funny, don't listen to them anymore. That's all. All right. Well, look, I think I'm going to get out of here for now. It's been a great hour-ish or so talking with all you folks again. I really, really greatly appreciate participation. As I said, I'm not the only one that's conversing here. I think it's all of us. I sort of see us in a circle, um, um, sitting down on like a porch. There's a little bit of an awning, but we can see the sky out there. It's the night sky, and we're just casually sitting around talking about all things astronomical uh, for a little while, forgetting about um, um, the rest of life for a while and just focusing on the universe. So, yeah, hope everybody enjoyed that. It happens every single day, same time, same place, 2 hours UTC. If you're new, haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. You can hit the thumbs up, you can hit the thumbs down, whichever you prefer. I'm interested in a reaction, and uh, I'm interested in sort of the absolute value of that reaction, not necessarily whether it's a positive one or a negative one. Um, I just like your reactions. So, all right, well, cool. I think I'm going to get out of here for now. Thanks for stopping in. The circle is now going to open and disperse. And for the next 23 hours, we can go about our daily lives. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here for now. Yeah, the mothership calls anyway. All right. So take care and thanks for stopping in. I'll see you again in a little less than 23 hours. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.